Month is known as Historic Preservation Month, and to celebrate, the Bismarck Historic Preservation Commission has created a window display that showcases the city's downtown history.
KX News' Guy Gregory went downtown to see more and find out more about this piece of downtown's history.
The trolley went down this street and we had a trolley track. It seemed logical that a way to get people to look at Bismarck's history in a new way.
Before cars took over the streets of downtown Bismarck, trolleys were the main way people got from the capital to downtown in the early 1900s. A new exhibit near 4th and Broadway Avenue showcases this interesting piece of the city's history.
The window display includes historic photos and artifacts that were unearthed when this section of 4th Street was reconstructed a couple years ago.
Among the artifacts found was a section of trolley track that was hidden beneath the street. The trolley once transported passengers on the street from 1903 until its last year of service in 1931.
All these items had not been excavated. They'd not been encountered before. They were under the ground. Suddenly they were able to be collected and preserved.
Sackerson says some of the other interesting items found underneath the old pavement, on display with historic photographs, lend a little more insight into how people lived their lives in Bismarck's early days.
I love to look at pictures on the street where you look at what people are wearing and what the context of their world in 1932 looked like. These are what the buildings looked like. This is what the street looked like. These are the sorts of things that sorts of stores I'd be going into. And it tells us about people's behavior, not just the built environment.
Sackerson says the displayed artifacts will eventually make their way to the North Dakota State Historical Society, where they will be preserved for future generations to see. Reporting for KX News, I'm Guy Gregory.
Learning new things every day. If you want to see that display, just go down near 4th and Broadway. It's at 118 North 4th Street. You can see it up close.